part 3 of our epic harvest. Yes, the harvest continues. So, as I said, I think it was in the last episode, one or two people were emailing me privately and saying, I don't believe for a second you sit there and do this. And I do. The only difference is that I normally leave it to one, possibly two videos, so that we're not repeating. But so that we're not repeating sort of videos after. We've got 3, so this is our 3rd harvest video in a row now. I think, or maybe even 4th, because I think we started with our wheat field first. So yeah, however many it is, it's either 2 or 3. But I've done it this way to kind of sort of show people I do sit here and do it, the way that I do it on the videos. The difference is that normally I sit, in the evenings and do it, or whenever, and I don't put them in the video or I don't make videos of it because I sort of don't want to repeat. But I've had, as I say, some messages where people are saying, this series is a fraud, this series is everything, because I'm not really sitting here and doing all of what I'm saying, for 4 or 5 hours or whatever, because it would take a lot longer. Well, fair enough. If that's what people think, then we'll record everything. And I've had other people as well sort of leave comments in my videos that have said, I don't mind if you do, sort of 2, 3, 4 harvest videos in a row. You're a farming channel. That's what happens. So it doesn't bother me. So it's, I guess, in a way, it's getting the mix, isn't it? But anyway, so that's the reason why you're getting. I can't remember if it's 3 or 4 episodes now in a row. But today we should, hopefully, all going well, we should get this field finished today, and then we can crack on with some other things. As far as I can tell, there's the wheat price is not bad at the moment, so it could well be that the next episode is a bit of a marathon sell all the wheat episode. We've obviously got rain as well coming in for today, which I'm hoping that we can get the wheat finished before then, and then it will leave us free to get on with other stuff then, which we'll be able to do. As I say, I need to get the wheat sold if the price is still the same. When I checked did I check? Probably this morning before I began recording again. I checked and it was a good price, so as long as the price is still there, we'll sell it. May as well, a bit of cash flow for the dairy, and plus as well, as I said, it was either in the last episode or the one before, the dairy's going to have a little bit of a makeover this winter, because a lot of those buildings are not authentic to what they were. The red ones are not entirely authentic to what were there, as from what I can tell in the grainy black and white photos of real life, but at the same time they're a little bit more in keeping than what's there at the moment. So because it will be in keeping, as I say, with what's there at this moment in time, so it will make it look a little bit more sort of authentic, I guess, a little bit better. So we'll give the dairy a makeover this year, this winter. I say the dairy, from selling all the milk and everything, has got quite a strong capital base. So we'll get the dairy moved over. I say the only thing with that is that, and I'm only saying this because I don't want more negative comments. The silo system that's going to be put in, yes, it's a very modern silo system, but there is not much that I can find on the internet where that I can have a 1950s silo system to install on the map. So unfortunately I can only work with what I've got, and that's what I've got. So yes, but they are going to be bins. So we will need elevators and stuff like that, because back in the 1950s that was how they were done before the grain pits were sort of more commercially available. So you know, there will be bins and they will be elevated. I also know that this isn't real as well, for those of you that have again, I didn't realise I would get quite so many. I wish people, rather than emailing me, I wish they just put the comments in the comments, because it does make it a lot easier for me to respond. But yeah, and that's another thing, you know, going, oh, you know, you worked on a farm, whenever did you back up a trailer over wheat? Well, I didn't, you know, but unfortunately with the way that the loading system works on FS, you have to back it into the heap in order for the heap to grow. You know, it's the only way, as far as I can tell, to do it. Yeah, I could do it where I don't back it in like I do the poop, but then you're going to get 10 videos of me pushing it up. So again, it kind of, you know, sort of tries to save that a little bit. But anyway, that's not really moans, but it did come as a bit of a surprise when I did get the emails that, you know, and it wasn't just, well, unless it was one person with 3 different email accounts, but I had a couple of people, or they were friends or whatever, and they all decided that they were going to do it all together. It did come as a bit of a surprise when it was like, you know, oh, your series is a fraud. You know, you don't sit there and, you know, blah 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 blah, you know, we've done it, and oh, it took us 3 days. You know, well, you know, you're clearly not very good tractor drivers if it's taking you 3 days. Because as I say, I do sit here and do it authentically, and it doesn't quite take 3 days, but it does take a long time. And you know, that's the nature of the beast. That's why we're doing it. You know, that's why I'm doing it. But as I say, the reason I've been doing it the way I've been doing it is because I've wanted to try and keep each episode interesting and as a new episode. So, like, you know, my actual sort of kind of plan before the other day I got those emails was, right, what I'll do is off camera I'll finish the combining, and then the next episode will be grain, selling grain carting to the sell point. We can time lapse all that because it's a long way away. It's the other end of the map, and this is a very big map. So it would have been time lapse because I think it takes roughly in the old lorry that I've got, I think it takes about 10 to 15 minutes of real time for me to drive from this end of the map to that end of the map. It's a long bloody way. Yeah, but that will likely now be the next episode, because as I say, in this episode we will get this finished. So what I'm going to do is, without further ado, I'm going to switch over to some time lapse, and we're going to time lapse the finishing of this episode. Then I'm going to end this episode here. Once we've got this wheat harvested, I'm going to end the episode at that point, and then in the next episode we'll have some grain carting to do. We've got milk to sell because I've noticed that the milk tank is full at the dairy, so we've got milk to sell, and then we will crack on, because we've got, obviously, manure spreading needs doing. We need to get some more manure first. We haven't got enough manure yet. We've got like quite a few little jobs and bits and pieces to do, and then we will be on to the soybean harvest, the corn harvest, and so this is a point, and this is only going to take a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to switch over to time lapse, because I'm fairly certain that you guys, you know, sort of don't want to sit listening to me rabbiting on all morning. But so I've got an old what can I say? So I want to do cotton on the game, because it's a crop that I've never done, and I still didn't get to do it in Carmen's, because that's it ended abruptly because for some reason that save became corrupt, and it doesn't matter what I do, I just can't get that save now to not crash, and the chances of me being able to rebuild everything that we've done exactly in the way that we've done it is, oops, darn it, that's because I'm not paying attention. So I've not lost my mind, but we need to empty the tank off quite a bit. Right, that'll do. Oh dear, I'm not going to be able to go that way, am I? I don't like doing this, I do apologise. Oh well, I don't like doing that, but kind of leaves you no choice, because this cutter's got a funny collision on the end. It sticks out quite a long way, so I wouldn't have been able to have swung in behind it as I was originally going to try and do. It would have just dragged it down the field, and it would have looked even worse than me just sort of nipping through the crop. So anyway, yes, so I've got a bit more of an old-fashioned way of harvesting cotton, but it's still relatively modern. It's just not using a cotton picker machine like the John Deere or the Case. It's actually trailed machinery that I've got to do it. If I can, when I get around this corner, I'll just stop and I'll show you it as a mod. That's if I've installed it, because I only found it this morning, and then it more than likely will be that I've forgotten to install it. But I was the reason why I'm mentioning it is how do you guys feel about that? Because yeah, the machinery, let's just see if I've got it in, because it'll make it so much easier to explain. Right, so it's under this one then. So this is what I've got. I'm impressed that I remembered to put it in. So it's a pull behind thing that swings out, obviously, harvest the cotton, and from there it then gets transferred, I'm guessing, into there, and then into here, and then that compresses it into the bale. How do you guys kind of feel about that? Are you kind of like happy for me to use that? Because as I say, it's obviously from how shiny it is and everything like that, it's like a brand new machine. I don't know whether this is how they would have done it in the olden days. However, I don't really see any other way they could have done it apart from having people walk through the field and picking cotton. And yes, there was a point in life when that was how it was done. But is that an acceptable compromise, or are you guys like, no way, that's too soon? But it's just a case of I would quite like to do cotton, but I'm not sure. Like, see, I want to try and keep, and I've said it before, I want to try and keep it as real to life as I can. But at the same time, it is a game, and I do at the same time want a little bit of freedom to kind of go, well, actually, for gameplay purposes, for content purposes, I'm going to do this. But I do very much want to hear people's opinions, because, as I say, we've given what's happened sort of a couple of 3 times this week with the messages that I've got. And by the way, I've dumped those emails down a hell of a lot. Some of them were quite unpleasant, I can say that much. And I'm saying out loud on video because you know who you are, and of course you're watching, even though you say that you don't. If you didn't watch, how would you know what I do? So yeah, I'm saying out loud because we're talking about you, or I'm talking about you, not we're. I'll leave you out of it, or you guys out of it, but I'm talking about you. It's really annoyed me, if I'm honest. And I shouldn't let it, but it has really annoyed me. But yeah, so let me know with the cotton what you think, because if it is a little bit of a step too far, then that's fair enough, and we'll leave it maybe till the 70s, 80s or 90s before we do it that way. But as I say, I want to try, and I'm not also going to do every single harvest this way, as in 10 videos, because as I say, otherwise we just won't get anywhere. The other reason for me doing it the way I've been doing it is because I want to try. I don't want the years to disappear, so that by the time sort of Easter comes, we're in the modern day era. I don't want it to be that fast, because I want it to feel, you know, proper, and that we've had to really struggle and work to get where we're getting. And so, you know, it isn't going to be a case of that. But like I say, I do try to, you know, and as well with, you know, some of the comment, you know, yeah, I know I'm not very good at YouTube content, and I know I'm not very good at editing, and I know I'm not very good, and probably my videos are not very interesting for people to watch. I don't know. You know, at the end of the day, I enjoy making them. That's why I do it. You know, I enjoy making the videos that I make. I enjoy doing the content. You know, whether I'm, you know, I mean, as to put it how it was put to me, you know, stop trying to be Daggerwin because you're not. Well, I'm not trying to be like Daggerwin. Daggerwin is his own content creator in his own right. He does it his own way. The way he does it is very successful. It's very good. I enjoy his videos the same as everyone else. And I'm certainly not trying to be like him because, you know, my parents always taught me, be yourself. If you can't be true to yourself, then, you know, you're on a losing battle. So I do it my way. You know, I do it my way, and people either watch or they don't. And you know, that's the choice that everyone has. It's the choice that you have. You know, if you don't like what I do, then don't watch it. You know, and it's as simple as that. But as I say, for me personally, it gives me something in the day to get up for and do, you know, because otherwise I don't really, you know, I could sleep in till 11, turn Farming Sim on, play it till I go to bed, sleep in till 11, get up, you know, and that's how my life was. And I got to that point where I wanted more, and you know, YouTube was a way of me kind of thinking, right, I've got to get up today, I've got to record those videos, I've got to edit these videos, I've got to sort out this, that, and everything else, and it gives me purpose again, you know, because when I was at work, you know, naturally I had, you know, I had a reason every day to get up, you know, from work, for whatever reason. Course play won't end. There we go. Course play, follow me, sorry. So yeah, that's why I do it. But anyway, rant over, let's crack on with some time lapse. I'll see you in a little while. So we are back, and this field is nearly complete. Yeah, we've missed one or two little blobs here and there, but nothing too terrible to write home about. So what we're going to do is we've got a little bit by the where the cows are that we need to harvest. Just the headland there that was a little bit too tight for me to turn into. So I've got that little bit to do there. But apart from that, we've not got much else to do. I don't know what I've pressed there. I don't know what I did there. Anyway, I got to admit, actually, Follow Me has been acting very odd today. So I don't know whether I've accidentally pressed a button or hit something that means that it's behaving so oddly, but there we go. But that is a wrap for this field for this year. As I say, when we get enough manure, we'll manure spread it, and then we'll plough it, and then we will get ready for next spring's planting of maybe soybeans, or I might even do one big field of corn. We've got a big field down on Harry's farm, so I am, sort of trying to keep it relatively what can I say, fresh, if you like. Back in the 1950s, from what I can tell, and I'll probably get shot down for this, but from what I can tell, most farms were growing a combination of wheat, maize, or corn, and soybeans in the Midwest, in Ohio specifically, but that, again, as much as I'm sort of researching, I may still well get things wrong or misunderstand things or whatever, but from what I understand, that was the sort of staple crops of the Midwest in the 1950s, and it's still pretty much the staple crops of the Midwest today, from what I can tell, from what I've been sort of reading, and so I'm trying to keep it to that. But like I said earlier about the cotton, cotton is something I would like to do. Within Farming Simulator, I might just do someone did actually, in one of in the comment section of one of my videos, to say, just do a modern day, sort of kind of modern day big American farm where you just sort of do, cotton and corn and soybeans and wheat, and sort of do that. They would like, to see that, and they would like that series in particular to be a chatty man series, where we chat about, sort of life experiences and work and, farming and whatever really. But I say I sort of haven't done it yet, but I don't know, I might do. I would be interested in doing that. So who knows for the future, but as I say, well, we could be a cotton farmer and, sort of different things. But I don't know, it's I just love playing the game, to be fair. And, I sort of play many hours a day, as you know, and sort of many ideas come into my, I think, well, yeah, that would be something interesting to look at, but most of them don't make it to fruition, in terms of making it actually onto YouTube videos. But an American save would be quite nice for me to do, just because I do the British save, obviously because I'm from England, but and so therefore to do an American one, sorry, I do apologise, my sore throat has returned. So the honey is coming out again. I would love to do the whiskey as well. Unfortunately, it's just going to have to be honey, because that worked last time. I think I took it one evening before I went to bed, which was it was a little bit sweet to go to bed on, if I'm honest. But I took it one evening before I went to bed, and the next day I took it in the morning and in the early afternoon. And by the afternoon, after I took it in the afternoon, the sore throat had virtually gone. So whether my sore throat was going anyway, because I'd had it a few days already, but someone suggested whiskey and honey. And as I say, sadly, with the amount of medication that I'm on, I can't take whiskey, unfortunately. But I had the honey. Someone else mentioned garlic and something, which again, due to my tablets, I couldn't try, but it would have been something that I would have tried, because I sort of don't mind having colds and stuff, but I hate sore throats. I don't do sore throats very well, but colds and stuff, you just think, oh well, time of year, you just have to put up with it. And sadly, because of sort of everything that is sort of my immune system is not quite as tough and as robust as what it could be. So it does mean that in the winter time, I do have a lot more sort of coughs and colds and stuff, but it's no biggie, not really. Feel terrible for a day or two, but crack on. But when you got a sore throat, that does drag me down, that does. But yeah, so I'll be trying the honey today. Gives me a good excuse to have honey on the ice cream. What a combination. You got to try it if you haven't done it. Right, honestly, honey, ice cream, and a crumpled biscuit over the ice cream with the honey on top. Honestly, it's like really cold granola. Yeah, I'm just saying. But it's really nice. So anyway, try it. But anyway, that's it for this episode. We have now got this epic field harvested. So that will be the last harvest video for a few episodes, because we've got to now wait for the corn to mature, and the soybeans too. Like I said before, I don't know how they came in here, but that's funny to me. But and actually, look, it's still registering as corn, so that's odd, isn't it? But they're definitely soybeans. I don't know how that happened, but anyway, it happened, so we just have to put up with it, unfortunately. But our crops are looking good. As I say, we've got some wheat to sell. I don't know why my mouse does that. We've got some wheat to sell in there. I mean, we got a lot of wheat in the end off that field, didn't we? Yes, it was fully fertilised. Yes, it had all this, well, apart from mulching, but it had all the steps that the crop should get in farming sim to yield well, and boy did it yield well. I bet there's I don't know, I wouldn't like to guess. Here we go, in the comments, guess how much wheat we got in that pile, because we would know, because I just count the trailers, so I know how much the trailer holds, and then I just count how many times I have to fill those trailers, and then we would know how much wheat we got. I would say there's getting upwards. I think we're north of 500,000 litres in there, personally, because like I say, that is a big old pile, that is. So yeah, I would say that we're upwards of about 500,000 litres there. But yeah, anyway, so as I say, that's it for this episode. Next episode, we're going to be selling the wheat if the price is still good. And then we will, we've also got the milk to sell as well. So we'll be doing that. We've got the cows to feed, and I think there's some mucking out that we can do as well in there now. We'll just quickly get around here and have a look at that. Yeah, so there's some mucking out we can do, so that'd be more manure. I think there's some bedding we can know. They've still got enough bedding. Food, yeah, they're still okay for food. So everything's looking good, really, in the cow department. Any being milked? Nope. It's quite cool, you know, that at certain times of the day, I think it's 6 in the evening and 6 in the morning, the cows come into the milking parlour, but they do actually, well, from what I can tell, they disappear from here, they turn up in there, and then when they come out of there to come back in here, they reappear, and then a different set go. I might be wrong on that, but that's what I kind of think I've observed, but I might be wrong on that. But I do like this cow barn. This cow barn is really, really good. Yeah, really, really good. As I say, I really like it, and the other buildings that go with it as well. The modder that made these, and the name escapes me right at this very second, but the modder that made these, honestly, awesome job, because they're fantastic. Like I say, I really like them. You know, and as I say, the rest of the farm's going to be turned into these buildings, with some silos and different things. So big plans for down here, and then we've also got some plans for Harry's farm, but not at the moment, not building wise at the moment, but for chopping trees down. So we'll probably get on with that during the winter as well. So the dairy's going to have its projects, Harry's going to have his projects, and we're going to be very busy. And we also need to get this yard tidied up as well, because I'm not really very happy about how it's all messy. Whether I keep this shed or not, I don't know, because this can hold all of the implements. But as I say, we're going to get some grain silos, so that will hold all the grain and the soybeans and the corn. Well, it won't hold the corn because I used that machine now to just get the heads. So we won't have corn as we know it. So, but soybeans and wheat will go in there, and then yeah, as I say, we're moving rapidly on and rapidly upwards, and the first sort of change in agriculture is on its way. By the 60s, you know, things were changing, you know, at a faster rate. Turn the tractor off. There we go. Yeah, so as I say, and equipment on sort of, you know, the dairy and Harry's equipment as well, got a little bit of an upgrade, so I'm looking forward to that. As I say, I absolutely love doing this series, and I know there's a few of you out there that really enjoy it too, from the comments that I get. So long will it continue? But anyway, that's it for this episode, because I'm rabbiting on again. I do apologise, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.